Play. Joel. Coming to you live on YouTube. 3, 2, 1. Game News Live.
What's up, everyone? Third episode since our return. Season 1, Episode 3. We got quite a bit of news.
We do. By the way, hold on. If I may.
You may, I guess.
If you will permit me. Con permiso.
Con permiso?
Yes.
I know those words.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerdjug's Game News Live. I'm Clay, this is Joe, and that's Mel Greeneyes. What's up?
You're just gonna throw that in there, aren't you?
I have to. She's a dirty liar, and she must pay for it. Yeah. So there you go.
You
All right.
liar.
You lied to us.
You lied with lies.
Joe, on with new releases. New releases. Here's the title card.
Yeah.
Boom! New releases.
New releases. All right. So we're picking up our new releases from Metacritic this week. So we have the Jackbox Party Pack 7. I love those games. They're so much fun.
love these games. This series is so good. I got turned on to this by Cinderkin a few years ago, and I was like, wow, these are really great party games. And they're even like streamable. Like they like have like integration.
Yeah, I think they do like Chromecast and stuff like that on your phone.
Yeah. So. It's pretty awesome. Jackbox games. I didn't even know 7 was coming out. I was listening to the PlayStation like podcast like last week, and they mentioned it was coming out next week, and I was like, "What? Like 6 just came out like a few months ago? Like what the hell?"
Right. So this one's coming out for a crap load of.
Yeah, it's like these games are on everything.
Yeah,
because they will sell.
All right, so let's move on to the other one. This one's everyone's been waiting on, the Mario Kart real life camera kind of thing. That looks really cool. Have you played this yet?
I have not. It's like I think it's like $100 or something like that, and it's like I would not make any use of that in my house. It would be fun just to like troll my dogs, but no, it's like.
I've seen some people on YouTube actually mess with their cats with it.
Yeah, but it looks great.
But the demographic is obviously for younger crowds, right? So
younger crowds, people to play with their kids with these RC cars and things like that. I get it. Like I said, this is a genius idea from Nintendo. It's just I don't have the need for it in my house.
But you know what's gonna happen though, right? It's like they always market it for the younger crowd, and the younger crowd is just gonna be like, "This is cool. I don't know who half of these characters are," and then the parents are gonna be like, "Give me that controller."
Yeah.
Now it's mine.
I need to make sure this works correctly.
It'll be perfect for the Christmas time rush, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, this is good timing for them. This thing is going to fly off shelves.
All right, so the next one that we're going up with is NHL 21. It's a new NHL game, which I don't know if it falls into the same category as like FIFA and stuff like that, where it's just like a rehash copy and paste kind of thing. But it's like I don't hear enough of NHL as it is right now.
I have not played a hockey video game in probably over 10 years. So I really have no perspective on any of this. I wanted to just have a minor talking point on this. I thought it was really cool that they're in this game. They're also releasing, it's basically NHL 94, which is everybody thinks it's basically one of the best hockey games of all time. And it was like on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis and stuff like that. It was awesome. And they're actually putting NHL 94 into this game with updated like rosters and teams and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. Like that would get me to actually play this.
Gotcha.
The real 2020 game, I have no interest in whatsoever. But if I can play Sega Genesis style hockey again with updated teams, I'd be like, yes, let's do that. Go Knights, I'm
gonna date myself. Yeah. The last time I played a hockey game was on the NES, and it was Blades of
Steel.
Blades of Steel.
Yeah. Good game.
And the only reason why I played that game was because you can punch the hell out of each other at certain points in the game.
yeah. They had like a fighting system.
Yeah.
The NHL 94 and the ones before it, like NHLPA 93 and stuff like that. Yeah, like they had fighting in it too. They were, actually NHLPA 93 had blood in it too, and that was like really weird. But but yeah, no, like old hockey games are great. The new ones, I don't really care anymore. They try to make it like Madden simulation style stuff, and I'm just like, nah, screw that.
Yeah. All right, it's time for the game news. Let's do this.
Ooh.
We have an update on G.I. Joe Operation
Blackout. So last week I mentioned I was like interested in this game, and I was like, cool, we're gonna play this. I gameflied it, I rented it, okay, and it was like gameflied it, put it on my PS4. I spent probably 30 minutes playing this game.
What?
And then I put it right back in the mail.
Was 30 minutes enough though? They couldn't have been like some deeper system that you get after like the 80th level?
I would strongly recommend this game to any young gamer out there. Not kids or anything like that, but like maybe you have like a 10-year-old or something like that, or 15-year-old. Somebody who some younger kid who has an interest in video games and says, man, if only I was alive during the GameCube, PS2, Xbox phase, I wonder what third-person shooters were like back then.
Ooh.
And then I would say, play G.I. Joe Operation Blackout, because that's what it is. This is a game that feels like it's a 20-year-old third-person shooter. It's clunky. It's not. It's a cel-shaded third-person shooter, which is like cel-shaded. Cool. G.I. Joe's a cartoon. Like, great call. That, but it's like all the cutscenes are like static images with just voice work. So like Duke is like, and they're like, let's go get them, Joes. And then Cobra Commander's like, I'll get you, Joes. Cobra. And it's like,
sounds like a Persona.
That was actually
type of
pretty
deal.
good.
Yeah, and it's like so it's like it's like all the production value in this game is very small. It's like it's a really old feeling third person shooter. There's not a lot of effort put into this thing. And then so I go through the tutorial level and then I play mission 1. And I'm like, this is very boring, right? So I'm playing this, I'm like, you know what? Multiplayer. Maybe multiplayer is going to save this. Like, I'm going to get in there and it's going to be just massive G.I. Joe Cobra battles or something like that. It is a up to 4-player local multiplayer.
So you have, do you still have to be at somebody's house?
There's team deathmatch. There's a control map kind of thing where you stand in a zone and it captures it kind of thing. And there's capture the flag. 4-player local multiplayer. So like
split screen?
Yeah. So it's like maybe somebody forgot to tell them it's the year 2020. And local 4-player multiplayer hasn't been around since like 2002.
So while you're over there, like third person freaking GoldenEye style,
it's basically 4-player capture the flag GoldenEye split screen, and it's like there's no online mode for any of this, and it's like, no, that's it. And I'm like, what is the point? Why did you even release this game?
People can't visit people right now. Let alone.
Well, and not even anything to do with like pandemic or COVID or anything like that. But still, if you bought this game, like if the world is back to normal and it's like, bro, let's play some G.I. Joe, Go Joe, whatever. Go Joe. We start the game and it's like, all right, how do we play together? No, you don't. No. Hey, Joe, I know you like, both of us live in Las Vegas. Joe lives like 45 minutes away from me. Hey, Joe, you want to drive 45 minutes over so we can play split screen capture the flag?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, it's worth a shot. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Google's about to give you some good stuff. Apparently, you ready? Do you still have your Stadia subscription? Clay?
No, I had a T-Mobile gave me 3 months for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not use it once.
So what's the good stuff that we're getting with Google Stadia then?
I don't know. It's some announcement they're going to do on like Tuesday or something like that. So, like I said, we know Cyberpunk just got announced for Stadia. It'll be there on day 1.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's more good stuff coming. And it's like, okay, sure. Like I said, cloud gaming it's really nothing new. It's been around for like 10 years now. But
who benefits off of this? People in rural areas, I guess? No. Because even then, you would have to have like really powerful internet just to be able to run even at 1080p.
Their internet requirements for Stadia are crazy. Like, you have to have really fast internet, and it eats a lot of data.
Yeah. For those who don't understand, imagine not having Xbox hardware at all. We're assuming that everyone who's watching now like understands cloud, but for those who don't understand, it's like imagine not having to buy a big piece of hardware that's hundreds of dollars expensive, right? But you get like either a small device or something like that, and everything is processed at the location that they're giving you,
like their data center or whatever.
Yeah, their data center, their servers or whatnot, and all the frames are being streamed right back to you like a Netflix movie, right? But your controller still controls the game. It's just going all the way out to the internet, which is why you need such powerful internet. Not because it's like super big packets, but because you need the speed of being able to translate like a moving to the left needs to be like a millisecond.
Yeah, it needs to be instant, right? So you have to have really fast internet for Stadia, and if you don't have an unlimited data plan, like let's say you're capped at like, I don't know, 100 gigs a month or something like that, it's going to eat that within a week.
Yeah.
Like it super chews up your data bandwidth, and it's like, to me, it just wasn't even worth it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one for Sega. Sega offers for free PC games, which is I saw you on Twitter just blow up about this. You were just like, "Thank you."
Okay, Sega, because I know you're watching this. Because why wouldn't you be?
What else do you have to do on a Saturday?
I mean, you guys have nothing going on, so it's clearly Sega is doing their 60th birthday kind of thing right now. So if you go to sega60th.com, it's their big celebration thing happening right now. If you link your Steam account to it on that page, they give you a free copy of Nights into Dreams, that Saturn game, which is pretty cool. And I think it even has like the Christmas DLC as well for free, so that's cool. They're doing Sonic 2 is a free giveaway on Steam right now, so that's cool, great game. But they're releasing these little small games that are like technically new games, but they're free. So it's like yesterday they announced this game called like Endless Space, or I don't even know what it was called. It's some spaceship shooter, and I was like, whatever, it's free, I'll buy it. Today, it's probably already live. I think it went live at like 10 a.m. or something like that, and I haven't bought it yet. They're doing a Streets of Rage Yakuza blend.
Like a crossover?
So it's like Streets of Rage 2, but with the environment and the characters of Yakuza. And oh my god, dude, my mind literally shattered into a million pieces. I cried, I wept, I held myself in the corner because I was so happy. Because one, Streets of Rage 2 is just one of the greatest video games of all time. And then you've got Yakuza, which is amazing. So it's like, it's called Streets of Kamurocho, because that's the main city in the Yakuza series. And I was just like, it's too much, I can't look.
It's so awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I think tomorrow they're doing Golden Axe, which is kind of, from what I understand, it's like a prototype build of a Golden Axe reboot that was going to be made.
I love that arcade game.
Golden Axe is a great game. It's hard, and it was a good game.
I kept wanting to punch all the little gnomes that kept on running around in the screen. It was just
give me those. They tried to like steal your like magic potions or something like that. So you kick them and they fall out of their bags and stuff. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
No, Golden Axe is good, but that's Streets of Kamurocho. When I saw that, I was just like, can I give you money for this? Can I like $100? Can I just throw that at you? And they're like, Clay, it's free. It's like a celebratory thing. It's like, it's what we're doing. It'd be like, so 200.
You just
like
don't
shut up and take my money. I was like, I want to play that so bad. So yeah, I'll probably do that later today.
Ass Creed.
Ooh, yeah, those Ass Creeds.
Ass Creed.
I put this in here once again, similar to what we did with the Yakuza 2 weeks ago. These are the PC specs for Ass Creed Valhalla, the new game, which I am just certain is going to be a completely new, unique experience that plays like no other video game ever.
And no other Assassin's Creed ever.
No other. It's going to be completely night and day.
Yeah.
Like this one, it's going to have like your character, and they're going to run around and kill things, and then it's going to flash back to real time every now and then, and you level up. But now there's like bigger beards because they're Vikings. Beards, man. That's what you're paying for right there. No, but I wanted to give you a chance to have a gloss over on those PC specs.
Yeah. So check this out. So the minimum system requirements was actually kind of surprising because we're talking about almost 5 generations old from a processor requirement and a graphics processor requirement. 4 gigabytes on a minimum. I mean, GTX 960 is mentioned here, but it's probably going to run on almost anything so long as it's on a minimum setting. But these processors here, they're so old that I just don't see a lot of people that won't be able to run it unless they just don't have a graphics card. For the top tier ultra stuff, which they're not even doing 1080p or 1440p, the ultra stuff is literally now jumping over to 4K, since I guess now they're trying to do that as a main staple of ultra level, is just doing 4K gaming at 30 FPS. This isn't even 60 FPS. You're just doing 30. So you're doing console level frame rates at like PC level resolutions. And from here, you're going to see like last gen's.
I will have you know that there were even NES games back in the 80s that had 60 FPS. Okay, so this is not, you know, we had 60 FPS before the PCs did. I'm just putting that out.
Sure, those AAA titles on Nintendo. Sure. Anyways, so the whole point here is like, look. We're not even talking about current gen for Ultra. This is still last gen for NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080. Now, keep in mind, the 2080 was no slouch either. That was their first, NVIDIA was the first, that series was the first one to do RTX. But the fact that you only need 8 gigabytes to run this thing on Ultra at 4K, a lot of optimization probably went into this game to make sure that a lot of people can play it on the PC as well as on console. So I'd like to see what the console settings are close to here with the new Series X and the PlayStation 5, because I'm pretty sure 4K, a lot of these other ultra high preset settings are going to be brought down to maybe like high or even low presets.
I'm sure, like, the day of launch, you're going to see, like, a Digital Foundry video just comparing everything. You know, like, here's how it runs on the PC, on Super, and here's how Series X and PS5 run, and here's how, like, you know, a PS4 or an Xbox One X or something, yeah.
Right. The other cool thing about this graphic that I got up here with all the presets is that multi-monitor support and widescreen support are going to be default. So you can have, like, a huge 31 by 9 monitor, or I think there was like even like a 21 by 9.
Where were we? Were we at a CES or E3 where it was like
CES.
Somebody was showing off like a
Samsung.
super wide monitor?
Yeah,
it was like a super wide monitor, and somebody was playing like Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
and like Lara Croft was like this little teeny thing in the middle of the screen, and it was just like wow.
Yeah, they also ran like they also ran Crysis on it.
Yeah,
and then so Samsung was at the booth for that one, for the widescreen monitor, but it was a rear projection monitor, so it had a really deep back, kind of like an old CRT monitor, but it was just like super wide. So Linus Tech Tips did a revival video of that thing, and he was actually able to find one. There are literally 3 projectors inside that thing that just meshed together the entire image, and I was just like, wow. He paid almost, I think, $5,000 for that thing. And,
that monitor probably weighs 8,000 tons.
Yeah. 1 ton per pixel.
Exactly. Like, dear Lord, that thing is probably super heavy.
But I'm just glad that a lot of newer games are just starting to pick up on the multi-monitor / widescreen support. I wish that was a thing, more of a thing back when Titanfall was there. Because when Titanfall came out, like, you played that game in a multi-monitor setup, it's like, it's great. But just to have like the widescreen with no like borders in the middle and then getting into a Titan, that was peace. That was really good.
Titanfall, yeah. Those games are good.
But yeah.
I like those.
I'm glad they have the widescreen multi-monitor support. But aside from that, release is available November 10th. So get ready for that.
That is PS, or actually that's Series X, Series S day. They want to be day one launch, you know, like, this is the game everybody's going to want on their new Xbox and PS5. And it's like, it's Assassin's Creed, whatever. Right.
Yeah. Clay, when you think of Nintendo, do you think of family-friendly content? Things that are wholesome?
I'm just going to drop Yeah, wholesome was the word I was going to say. That is the word I would, use with Nintendo. Family friendly, wholesome, things that make you smile, or whatever.
Safe for kids. So, you know that Minecraft Steve is heading over, or he's already in Smash Brothers, right?
Yes.
And
He's in Smash Ultimate, and from what I understand from my friends who are in the Smash FGC, nobody cares. So
oh, okay.
Are you showing the picture?
For any children in the room, please. Please cover your eyes. You don't want to see this meat. He's portrayed in the screenshot that you see here, where Steve won. He's number 1. But if you notice, there's no real way to tell that he's literally holding something in his hand or what that thing is, unless you're a Minecraft fan.
And you're like, oh, that's obviously a pickaxe.
That is literally some meat hanging out right near his junk.
Okay, so Smash games have a really brutal QA process. And this is just known. Like whenever they do something, it's months and months of testing and everything like that. Nobody saw this. I find that hard to believe.
Really?
Steve wins, and people are like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Roll it out.
Okay.
And it was then day 1, people are like, wow, Steve is really happy to win that match. Yeah. Well played, Nintendo.
Yeah, so
sick bastards.
So I'll take that possible scenario that they knew, but they just let it go. I think
They didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, they just didn't think anything of it because they're in the land of how Disney's all we don't see anything wrong with any of this stuff.
They are just innocent, and they were like, well, what do you mean? It's his pickaxe. What's wrong? And they're like, it looks like a dick. And he was like, what? No, that can't be right.
Yeah, that's literally what it looks like. And you can't always tell with Steve that he's actually holding a piece of meat that he eats in his hand at certain points, but it's just the placement of it was just not the best. And the fact that it's all pixelated, it just makes it look even worse.
Yeah. They'll make it so when he's in a victory screen, they don't hold anything in his hands or anything like that.
Or just change it to the pickaxe or a diamond sword.
There you go.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's Nintendo. They'll fix it. I'm not worried about that. I just think it's hilarious that this got through QA testing.
All right, so this one we're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hitting up and showing up in SMITE now, in a way.
Okay, so Joe, you used to play SMITE.
I still played. I actually.
Oh, you do? Okay. Back in the day, you used to play it a lot, and if you're playing it again, that's great. I've played a couple games of it. It didn't really, mesh for me. But these are skins. These are not actual playable.
Right. So
Donatello has no Donatello abilities. He's just a skin over an existing god or something, right?
Right. But these are basically reskins for existing gods like Sun Wukong, Osiris, and Loki. Have skins that better match the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fight style. So you know how Raph has the size, I think. He has the 2 size. Yeah. So there's Loki, which is a very stabby type of god. And so it matches his play style. Yeah, he's just stab stab. Stab stab stab. But it's just reskins. It makes sense because Donatello is Sun Wukong, which is the monkey king and whatnot, and he just has a huge staff, so it makes sense. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down there, Steve.
Minecraft Steve.
Yeah, but then there's Splinter Hachiman, so it's not just the turtles. You also get Splinter as a reskin here,
and Shredder's in there too, right?
Yeah, Shredder's in here.
And
Paintballer Jing Wei. I don't know if that's supposed to be
April O'Neil?
April O'Neil. She has an all yellow Jacqueline. I'm not exactly sure if they're trying to depict her as April O'Neil, but it looks a lot like it. So alongside from the realistic skins, they also have the cartoony cell shaded skins as well. So different gods for those.
If they match like we said, Raphael has the size and Loki is stabby, as his fighting style is stabby.
Yes, very stab. Yes.
Stab foo, if you will. So it's like, that's cool then that they're kind of like meshing those together. I just thought this is just a very strange thing to do, like just like a reskin for, I know, cross promotion purposes, whatever.
So for the next one, we're going to be talking about Xbox and what they're doing to make it easier for you to switch over to next gen. I thought this was really cool. I didn't know that it wasn't a free feature already, but it makes sense why they would want to do that now.
Yeah, so this should go into the checklist of Microsoft doing next gen upgrades just better than Sony.
Right.
Like this is yet another thing that they're doing. So basically, if you have an Xbox 360, which
we're going all the way back to an Xbox
we're going back
360.
Yeah, so 2 gens ago, or last gen technically, because the new one's not out yet. But if you still have an Xbox 360 and you have a bunch of like Microsoft's really touting backwards compatibility with the Xbox Series S and X, so they're basically saying, hey, if you want to bring your saves over from the Xbox 360, normally you would have to do a cloud save and you have to have Xbox Live subscription for that. Mm-hmm. But there are people out there who don't care about multiplayer gaming or anything like that. They don't have Xbox Live. And that's fine. Microsoft's basically saying, we want you to do backwards compatible games. We want you to upgrade. So free cloud saves for everyone. And I was like, good on them. Like, so if you're on a 360, you can now upload your saves to the cloud. So when you get that brand new Xbox Series S or X, you'll have everything you need right there. You put in your Gears of War 2 disc and it'll just load your cloud save and you're ready to go exactly where you are.
Do you also feel like this might be like a halfway drug to getting people that were originally not inclined to do online stuff to just now go into next gen and be fed all this stuff of online?
This is a good move for them. But this is clearly just to get people to buy a new Xbox. Yeah. Like, they're basically saying, hey, you like Gears of War 2, keep playing it on this new thing, and we're gonna add HDR and we're gonna improve the frame rates, and you can pick up exactly where you were.
Right.
And it's like, but yeah, no, like this is just a move to get them to upgrade, or to get any Xbox 360 gamer to upgrade. Which, like I said, it's good on Microsoft for doing it, and this is yet another thing they're doing that Sony hasn't even probably thought of, because their backwards compatibility plan on Sony's PS5 is pretty trash right now. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, for UI, for user interface and user experience, they're not really great at it, no matter what generation they were in. Because I don't remember having a really good user experience with PlayStation ever.
The PS4, their user interface is pretty cool. Like, I like it. I think it's way better than what they did with the PS3, which was just like the PSP, like the cross media bar. I thought that was just embarrassing.
Right.
But the new one, which we have that article coming up, right?
Yeah.
About the PS5's new interface.
Yeah.
The new one looks cool too, but we can talk about that in a minute. But yeah, Microsoft Cloud Save's free for everyone. You don't need an Xbox Live subscription anymore. But even if you don't have an Xbox Live subscription, if you buy Game Pass Ultimate, it comes with that anyway. Just buy Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah. It's good.
Well, we were talking about the PlayStation's UI, and I did take a look at the video of the new UI that they have. And it looks pretty interesting. I like how new the resolution is now meant for 4K. All the cards on here are pretty colorful and interesting. But I still feel like, even just looking at the UI, it just feels like there's just a lot of clutter for me. There's not like a level of organization that I'm just like, okay, these cards are for this and these cards are for that, but they're not aligned in a certain section.
I think it'll be, people will be able to get used to it pretty fast. Like, I'm not worried about anything like that. Just looking at it, it does seem kind of cluttered, especially with like tons of cards all over that like top row for like whatever game you're playing. And I was just like, that's kind of a weird choice.
If you have ADHD, I could see this being perfect for you.
Like all over, tons of stuff to look at. Yeah, I get that. I'm not incredibly blown away by it. Like this new PS5 user interface, but I will say that I think they're putting some cool features in there. Like, I loved when I first heard that the controllers are going to have microphones in them. I was like, that's really stupid, because now they're going to try to make some games that utilize that, and that's stupid. But when they brought up the chat feature, where I can just like message Joel, hey dude, let's play whatever,
right?
And then it just types your message and sends it. And I was like,
the voice to text stuff.
The voice to text, I thought that was a really cool feature. I was like, okay, now I actually see a purpose for this.
But you know what was funny? The first thing that I thought was like, oh, that's cool. But then I was just like, wait a second. There's been other things that have had this for quite a while. Like the Nvidia Shield has exactly that on their not their gaming control, not just their gaming controller, but their new little triangular like controller that we have here in the house. It has a microphone built into it, and I was just like, doesn't the Roku have that as well built into their controllers? It's just a little microphone just to call on whatever AI system that they have on there.
Yeah. Well, and technically the PlayStation already has this. Like with the PlayStation camera, you can talk to it. You know, like, hey, PlayStation launch whatever game or open Netflix, and it'll just do it. So it's just, but yeah, like once I saw the speech to text thing, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I will say these cards.
Yeah.
This is like one of the big things they showed off. Like they're playing, but I forgot what game.
These cards only show up while you're in game, I believe, right?
Yeah. So or I guess if you have that game loaded, and then like, you know, like so if you're suspending the game or if you're just browsing whatever, it'll still show. So they were playing Sackboy Adventures, and as they were, you know, walking through the card demo, it's like, here's hints to things that you might be missing in the game. Like they showed off like some collectible that the player at the time didn't have, and it was like, here's a little hint video on how to get that, or like it won't show you exactly how to do it, but it'll show you like, oh, you need to go over here. And it's like, that's really cool. I think that's a really cool feature, especially for people who like maybe they're not the smartest when it comes to checking every nook and cranny in video games, you know? And it's like,
especially, you know, for like those 100%
like,
ones, right? They
like,
want it.
Video game logic is basically, if you see a sign saying go over here, go this way. You know, like always check that corner first and then go follow that
Mario
sign.
was
But
always like that for me on the Galaxy stuff. I was just like, wait a second. You're funneling me.
There's a whole other thing over here. There's a whole other planet over here I'm not looking at. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's but all these cards, my first thought, like, they look cool. The whole like giving you hints on games, and it keeps track of your collectibles and stuff like that. Technically, the Xbox did that already, but with that, my first thought was like, wait a minute. So if I'm developing a game for the PS5, I now have to create all these cards and hint videos and trackers and stuff built into that. I was like, man, those developers are probably going to be pissed. Random EA programmer guys, like, wait a minute, we have to do what now? Like, we have to build a hint videos into this? And it's like, yeah, your development time just got extended 6 months. All right, cool, good job.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Where are you going to get your Cyberpunk copy?
Like, where am I going to buy it?
Yeah, where are you going to buy it at?
Probably gonna just Best Buy or Amazon the physical copy on the Xbox, because I'm getting an Xbox Series X. Yeah. So I'm gonna buy that.
Now, I'm not sure if we verified this with every other digital distribution platform, but it looks like Good Old Games is gonna give you a pretty good deal along the lines with the things that come with it already. So if you didn't know, and this is just for anybody out there, so on your PC platforms, and you got Steam, you got Epic Games Store, and you got Good Old Games, and there's tons of others out there, but those are your big three right now. Mm-hmm. Good Old Games is owned by CD Projekt. They own it. This is their store. It's like the Epic Games Store. It's like Valve and Steam. They own Good Old Games. So when they're going to sell you their game on their platform, this is just their way of throwing in a little extra. Like, hey, don't buy it on Steam, buy it from us. But yeah, GOG, if you want to run through some of the extras on there. Yeah, so some of the extras that it comes with already is like the original score, Cyberpunk 2020 sourcebook, art booklet, wallpapers for your desktop and mobile, digital comic. But if you buy it on goodoldgames.com, you also get print quality Cyberpunk 2077 posters, which those things are amazing anyway. They're a work of art.
Yeah.
Exclusive digital comic, Cyberpunk 2077 Big City Dreams. I wonder how much information in that comic is going to be relevant or necessary for some of the
or just like a side story,
right.
Or maybe like a character in the comic is like somebody you could work for in the game or something. Like, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, and an additional set of wallpapers and avatars, which is always welcome, you know.
Yeah, little freebies. It's just CD Projekt's way of saying, hey, it's our game anyway, just buy it here.
Yeah. I could have swore Good Old Games had a discount when it was first announced or when it was first available for like $40 some odd, and it was cheaper than anywhere else, which was kind of
really?
Surprising. But at the same time, it's like now it's back up to $59.99. I didn't pre-order it, but it's playable on November 19, 2020. I could have swore this physical copy is going to be out. No. Yeah, it's November 19th for everything.
That's like the global launch date for
Right.
everything.